Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is Friday, the 11th day of October, National Sausage Pizza Day. I wonder why sausage gets its own day.
Oh, I love sausage.
It deserves its own day, is what you're saying? Okay. International Day of the Girl Child. Kraken Day. We have a friend who, they have a home bar.
They do.
And they call their home bar the
Tipsy Kraken.
Tipsy Kraken,
Yep.
yeah. National It's My Party Day. Spread Joy Day. Southern Food Heritage Day. I can tell you what, I'm a big fan of several things that are Southern food. You Go Girl Day and National Coming Out Day as well. All of that stuff and many, many other things going on this Friday. I'm excited for my guest today. He's a survivalist and just an all-around awesome dude. Donny Dust. Going to chat about his new book, Wild Wisdom. So if you want to maybe live off the grid or live by the grid, I don't know, wherever, somewhere. He's got all kinds of cool advice, and I'm excited to chat with him coming up.
Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from VitaTech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how VitaTech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Some scientists are calling for flights to slow down because they say slower airline speeds would help save the planet. That's what they need to do. Researchers at the University of Cambridge have announced their idea to help aviation industry get to net zero carbon emissions by 2050 by mandating longer flight times. Their bold measure would see flight times slowed by 15%, which would add about 50 minutes of travel time to pretty much every transatlantic flight.
Jeez. They
say the proposal would cut fuel consumption by 5 to 7% and would reduce the industry's overall contribution to climate change by about 4%. So they're going, that's what they need to do. So I don't know. They had scientists working on it. So we're going to just go with that being the correct answer. If that's what you want to do that. But again, I don't know that that's going to make that big of a difference. They
4%?
said 4%. Yeah. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
If you want a better credit card, it can be easy and not so hard. BetterCreditCards.com. Earn more points and get more perks. Get what you're looking for in a card that works. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know the world's tallest mountain is getting taller?
It is?
Yeah, Mount Everest is like 15 to 50 meters taller than it would be otherwise because there's a river that's eroding rock and soil somewhere near its base, and that's pushing it upwards. Now, that sounds backwards to me, but they're saying it's like throwing a load off a cargo ship. When they do that, everything rises up, so like that is going away, so this is rising up 2 millimeters a year. Yeah, so it's not like you're going to watch this and
not
go,
like you can see it growing.
It's getting higher and higher. Look at that. No, it's
Funny.
not quite. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by radiosavings.com. Anna Delvey is standing by her comments on Dancing with the Stars. She's the convicted con artist that went to jail for a while. They did a TV show about her. We watched the show.
She's out, huh?
Yeah, she's out, and she was on Dancing with the Stars, and she got kicked off pretty quickly. And then she went online and said something along the lines of that these judges or not the judges, but the dance instructors are not very good at teaching.
Okay.
So she's like, I took your advice and it was worthless. So I think she's just looking for more attention. George Clooney is a whole lot richer after selling his L.A. home. Guess how much he got for it, baby?
How much?
Just take a guess.
Honey, I don't know.
He sold it for $14 million.
Okay.
Yeah. He bought it, by the way, from Stevie Nicks for $2.2 million.
Oh, so he did okay on that investment.
Yeah. She's probably going, hey, I could have maybe got more. And Travis Kelce is everywhere these days. He dates Taylor Swift, and rumor has it he plays football. Yeah, you know if you knew that, but. Now he's going to be hosting a game show. Prime Video has the release of the trailer for Are You Smarter Than a Celebrity? So it's a spinoff of Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Right.
Premieres the 16th of October. So we'll be watching that on Amazon Prime. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. A study found that there are 2.5 million ants for every human on Earth.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
Yeah, I keep my ants in the kitchen. Where do you keep yours? Actually, we don't have as many ants as we did. Last year we had like an ant issue in one of the rooms. Remember that? And then you put out little ant traps, and then I think you must have got them all. So
yeah, I got them all.
She had a pretty big ant trap for those 2.5 million ants. Japanese food supplier Nippon, Nippon, Nippon Ham, is selling Boost Noodle, a new type of instant ramen noodles designed to be consumed with one hand by simply sucking the contents from a small pouch. That does not sound attractive. The stuff was created with gamers in mind, or anybody else who wants to scarf down calories without taking a break from whatever they're doing with the other hand. Boost Noodle consists of a special type of yam noodles, some shaosku pork, some menma, a fermented bamboo shoot, and a mix of pork stock and seafood broth, which sounds delicious.
It
is what
does.
I'm saying. None of that sounds good. They say because it is targeting gamers, each pack of Boost Noodle contains 35 milligrams of caffeine as well. And you don't even need to heat the stuff up. It's ready to eat right from the pouch. Does that sound disgusting to you?
It kind of does to me, yes.
So would you just eat it, or would you put it in your pocket first and warm it up from like being in your
That's
pocket?
just gross.
You just don't. I can tell you who's not a consumer for this. Me. I mean, I'm not a gamer, and I have no reason to do this, and it doesn't sound at all appetizing to me, but maybe somebody out there likes this. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Excited to visit with our guest today. We have adventurer, survivalist, wild man, Donny Dust. Tell me a little bit about Wild Wisdom.
Yeah, Wild Wisdom is that outdoor survival book that is really designed for people to kind of rewild themselves, to get outside, kind of explore the natural world and see some of the beauties that it holds. And my idea behind this book was to give a little bit of history about me, my methodologies, my approaches, but ultimately give kind of people the tools and the techniques and the practices if they ever find themselves in that survival situation where they need to know how to build a shelter, make a fire, the best foods to eat, whether it's through foraging or hunting. That book will contain all of that information. So it's the book you want to throw in your car. It's the book you want to throw in your pack. It's that little bit of information hub that's never going to run out of batteries.
And this is one of those things that you hope you never, ever, ever, ever need it. But boy, if you do, you'll be really, really, really glad you have it.
Absolutely. I mean, personally, I kind of hope it happens to me. Like, for as many days that I do, adventures into the bush or bring people out there, I'm like, one of these days I'm going to get lucky enough to find myself in that real situation. But, we'll keep hoping.
And again, now for folks that maybe have not heard of Donny Dust and they're going, what makes him the expert on all of this? Well, first of all, Marine Corps veteran, thank you for your service, my friend.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
And you're also an expert in remote primitive survival, and you've been doing this for a bit. How long have you been doing what you do?
Just around 20 years now, and it's been a long journey because I kind of started with a more modern approach using steel knives and axes. And as time has progressed, I've kind of de-evolved, I guess you could say, into only using stone tools and animal hides and clay pots. So I wanted to kind of go that path and that route into that primitive survival so people could really understand that everything you could need to survive already exists in the natural world. You just have to ultimately know how to resource it and create it and make it.
It would be nice to know how to use things if all this technology that we rely on was gone one day, because it could absolutely happen. I hope it doesn't, but it could.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just the reality of it. I mean, I know there's more medicinal plants and highly nutritious food in the mountains around where I live than there is at the grocery store. I mean, accessibility for me to get there is very, very simple. But for some folks, they need to understand that the natural world can solve all of those problems with some pretty viable solutions. I mean, the medicinal plants like willow bark is a natural aspirin. That's where aspirin comes from. It comes from a plant. And there's so many different plants out there that provide those resources that if the supply chain was to shut down or you to run out of medication because there's some sort of global incident taking place, you have a viable solution that will solve those problems.
You teach us how to live in primitive ways, but you also are very technologically savvy as well. You wrote a book. You didn't do that on a turnip. You also are online with an amazing following, millions of people who follow on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and all over the place. And I love the fact that you are utilizing these platforms, I think, in the very best way. You're entertaining, first of all, but you're also informing and teaching people things that they can use to literally save their life.
Absolutely. And that was the goal from the very beginning. I mean, I always haven't been on social media. So it was right around 2017, someone spoke some wise words and said, hey, it's time to share in a different audience. So with the help of my 2 teenage sons, they kind of guided me on all aspects of social media. And they just said, hey, get out there and do what you normally do. You're always making things. You're always creating things and teaching folks. This is a great platform to kind of reach a broader audience and really maybe impact folks in a way where they're going to start to scratch and say, you know what, maybe I should look into this. Maybe I should go for a hike. Maybe I should work on my physical health. And social media, I mean, it's one of those things that you kind of need to exist from my kind of approach, if you will. I mean, as much as I'm in the outdoors, it's a great opportunity to share it with the rest of the world and hopefully get some inspiration out there.
And I love that. And the thing that's neat is, it's free to follow you on all of those social media platforms. So if somebody listening is going, I don't know if I'm quite ready for the book, that's okay. The good news is you can follow along for free. And then if you do say, hey, I kind of like this idea, if you're following them on social media, it'd be easy for you to find the book when you're ready.
Absolutely. You can just go to DonnyDust.com, and then there's everything and anything on there, from TV and film things that I'm taking place in, books that I've written, social media links, everything and anything is on that one spot. It is your hub for the ultimate kind of survival and caveman life, if you will.
I love it. And the thing that's cool, if you're not ready for a caveman life, imagine just doing like a caveman weekend even, saying, I'm going to spend a weekend going and doing this. And then if you fall in love with it, you can say, okay, Donnie, I'm buying property up by you. So
exactly. We'll get a big whole tribe together. We'll survive together. No worries.
Awesome. Donnie, thank you for your time. I appreciate it, sir.
I appreciate you greatly. Thanks so much for giving me the opportunity. You have a great day.
You too. Adventurer, survivalist, wild man, Donny Dust. You can find him online at DonnyDust.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from VitaTech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how VitaTech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
7 people have keys with the power to restart the World Wide Web in the event of a catastrophic event.
Oh.
So, like if the web goes down, there's 7 people.
Only 7 people
that know what they need to do to restart it.
What if all of those 7 were hurt in a catastrophic event?
They might need some help. Just tell me what to do. I'll go kickstart this thing. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Drag from open windows can reduce a car's fuel efficiency by 10% at high speeds.
Oh, yeah. I suppose.
So keep them up. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A fetus can hiccup. So,
I knew that.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A study found that politicians tend to express lies and inaccuracies through longer sentences. So if they're long-winded, maybe you don't believe what they have to say. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
This film was the first movie released on DVD in 1996 is when it happened. What movie was it?
I don't even know.
Twister. Yeah. The first movie on DVD was Twister. Several fun
didn't know
facts.
that.
Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
If you want a better credit card, it can be easy and not so hard. BetterCreditCards.com. Earn more points and get more perks. Get what you're looking for in a card that works. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way courtesy of mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. 78% of us admit to doing this somewhat illegal activity. What is it? I've done this.
Somewhat illegal. Jaywalking?
Yes, jaywalking. Wow, you're good at this. You've guessed a lot of things lately. I think she's been reading through my notes when I'm in the other room.
No,
that's what's going on here. Yeah, jaywalking. 78% admit to jaywalking. I don't like go and do it on purpose, but there are times that I'm going from here to there and I'm like,
that's a lot quicker.
Probably should have gone down to that crosswalk instead of, jumping over the hoods of these cars. All right. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Police were called to a Target in Flagler, Florida, after a manager reported a man had walked out of the store without paying for a $539 electric scooter. Before entering the store, deputies spotted a man matching the suspect's description, assembling the electric scooter on the sidewalk in front of the store with the product box open right next to him.
Wow.
According to the affidavit from the arrest, 28-year-old Patrick Miller admitted to taking the vehicle because he, quote, needed a ride, end quote. So I don't want to give you too much advice here, Patrick, but in the future, first of all, my first advice would be
Don't steal.
Don't steal anything. But second advice would be if you do steal something, don't assemble it in front of the store. That is not the best plan that you had. I'm just saying that was not great. Again, it sounds like they've got everything all taken care of, though. Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. I have a list of oxymorons. This was sent to me. These are all two-word oxymorons. A friend of mine sent it because my name is John Small, but I go by Big John Small. And he goes, that's an oxymoron, so I thought you might like these. And he's right, by the way. I like all of these. Two-word oxymorons, like this one. Working vacation.
Yep, agreed.
I
No
do those
such
all
thing.
the time, by the way.
You do.
Fun run. Yeah, there's nothing fun about a run. Athletic scholarship. Accordion music. Well, that's not very nice. Tax return. Yeah. That's unbiased opinion. Okay, if it's your opinion, it's going to be biased. That's just the way it works.
Yep.
Act naturally. If you're acting, you're not being natural. Industrial park. Resident alien. Sanitary landfill.
Yeah.
Virtual reality. And my personal favorite on the list of oxymorons, these are the favorite two-word oxymorons, government intelligence. That was nice. The list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis by allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of radiosavings.com. Our quote today is from Jeffrey Hinton, who says, computers can understand sarcasm better than Americans, end quote.
I love sarcasm. I am very fluent in sarcasm.
I'm a big fan, but here's the thing. I almost wish there was like a sarcasm font, because there are times that I'll say something where you're clearly being sarcastic.
Right.
And then you'll have somebody go, do you really believe that? I'm like, do you seriously think I believe that? Like, no. Do you see the smiley face behind that? That's why I put that there, to try to cue you in on the fact that I was kidding. Quote of the day comes your way courtesy of radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. And this story comes from Georgia. Am I allowed to hug you? A police officer goes above and beyond to help a stranded driver. In a heartwarming act of kindness, Lieutenant Cheeks, police department in Georgia, went above and beyond the call of duty when he helped a stranded motorist in need. The incident, captured on the body cam footage shared by the department, shows this gentleman assisting a woman whose car had run out of gas. The driver, who had lived in this county for over 30 years, was visibly frustrated and a little upset as she explained her situation. She said, I'm kind of frustrated because I don't have money to buy gas. Understanding the distress, Lieutenant Cheeks first pushed her vehicle out of the roadway to ensure her safety, but he didn't stop there. He also took it upon himself to fill her gas tank so she could make it home safely.
Aww.
The woman, overwhelmed by his generosity, asked, Am I allowed to hug you? The two embraced before parting ways, with the driver expressing her deep gratitude for his kindness.
Very cool.
Isn't that nice?
That's very nice.
I've got a link to the story. There's a body cam footage, and there's also like some screenshots from that. So there's like photos and videos and I've got a link to it all in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. It is Friday. Get out there, enjoy the weekend, have a wonderful time, and we hope to see you back here as soon as we can. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.